Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am making one of the dishes, actually one of the curries I had a couple of times maybe in the Indian restaurant series that I did, and I got hold of some fresh fenugreek leaves in the Asian supermarket the other day. He does not bring it often at all. Like, he'll get the leaves maybe once in 4 months or something. So it's like, wow, it's party time. So anyways, I got the leaves, so I decided I'm gonna make methi chicken, and it is going to not be exactly how the restaurants make it because they add so much butter and so much oil that obviously anything's going to taste tasty. I want to make a nice homely healthy version, and also that taste of lot of methi, the fenugreek. So let's get cooking. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button, and that's it. Yeah, the first thing to do is to actually break the fenugreek leaves, which is a little bit of a task, but it's worth it. You don't use the stems, you only use the leaves. Just put some music or put some telly on, get your kids involved. I don't know what you do, but you have got to pluck the leaves off the stems. I'm going to start with 3 medium-sized onions, and I'm just going to roughly chop it. I don't have to finely chop it. Just going to roughly get this chopped, and also going to turn the heat on to get a pan nice and hot. Ready for the onions. A nice hot pan and a good 4 tablespoons of oil of your choice. Now I'm going to add some whole spices. So a piece of cinnamon stick, a couple of bay leaves, 3 to 4 cardamom pods, 3 to 4 cloves, and just let it sizzle for a few seconds before I add a teaspoon of cumin seeds. Next, the onions. Now I am going to give this a good 15 minutes. I'm going to cook this on low to medium heat, so not very high. And that 15 minutes is going to give me enough time to prep my ginger, garlic and tomatoes. So I'm just going to make a very simple marinade here. So I have just got 3, 4, 5, basically 6 to 8 spoonfuls of yogurt. You could use Greek yogurt, you could use natural yogurt, and now I'm going to add a few things to this. So a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of chili powder, teaspoon of garam masala, and a tablespoon of dried fenugreek leaves. And all that's left to do is give it a mix. Smells really lovely. So you can see here, this has been cooking for a good 12 minutes. A nice deep golden color. Now I'm going to add the garlic and the ginger, just roughly chopped. 6 to 8 cloves of garlic and a big piece of ginger. And then I'm going to give it 1 more minute. And I'm going to just roughly chop 4 tomatoes. So I'm going to add 100 ml of water, and I'm going to cover and cook this again on low to medium heat for 10 to 12 minutes. We want the tomatoes to be fully softened and kind of become mush. So it would need that much time. And while that is cooking, I'm going to prep the chicken. So that is done. Now I'm going to get the chicken. Now, as always, I have got the chicken from my butcher. So this is a whole chicken. And what I did was I asked him to get rid of the skin and also cut it into smaller pieces. So I think 16 pieces. And what I'm going to do now, as always, is just get rid of any extra bits and tidy this up, and as it gets tidied, it goes straight into the marinade. I like making chicken curry with whole chicken because then you can get all parts of the chicken, which I love the chicken breasts and the thighs and everything. So yeah, it does make sense to use full chicken for curries. And you know, like, it's got wings too, because why not? Why not have chicken wings in a curry? It's so delicious. And all that's got left to do is mix this up, and there is only one way, only one best way. to do it, and that is by hand. Now you can absolutely keep this overnight in the fridge if you have planned it in advance. I literally got the chicken this morning on my way back from the gym, and I decided to cook this because I got some fresh fenugreek leaves. So no, I haven't planned it very well, so I will only be letting it sit for half an hour. That's the time the onions will take to cook, so just cover and leave it in the fridge. So in 10-12 minutes the tomatoes would have softened, like you can see. As you mix it, they just get mushy because they have cooked really nicely. That's what the texture I'm looking for. What I'm going to do is turn this off, let it sit for 5 minutes just so that it's cooled down slightly, and then I am going to blitz this into a puree. Now that puree will also blitz the cinnamon, the cardamom pods, the cloves, the leaves. Everything will be blitzed into a puree with the onions, tomatoes, ginger and garlic. So I let it cool down for an hour because I had some errands to run. So I went outside. Now I've just come back home and this has cooled down completely, and I've just lifted the lid and it smells amazing. This is not even ready yet. Imagine how amazing it will taste once it's fully cooked, because there's going to be some good stuff going in. Right, add it all and blitz. And you really don't have to wash the pan. We're going to use the same pan without washing. So really, it's a one pan dish. I'm not going to add any oil, nothing to this, because there is enough oil in this. I really don't want a nice, healthy, delicious curry. Puree goes back in. I'm just going to add just a drop of water to get this out. I have got here a double concentrate of tomato puree. Now I just want a really intense tomato flavor in here. So you could add more tomatoes if you want, but I find the puree just adds a bit more kind of sharp tomato flavor. So I've added 3 tablespoons of tomato puree. I'm going to give it a mix, and then I am just going to cook this for 10 minutes on low heat. I'm going to put the lid on because otherwise it'll just splatter everywhere. I'm telling you, my kitchen is smelling so good right now. And I haven't even added the spices. That's just the base. Oh guys, this is so good. Right, time for some spices. Be aware that there are some spices already in the chicken. So a teaspoon of turmeric, teaspoon of garam masala. I know there's 1 teaspoon in the chicken, which is fine. Now add 2 teaspoons of ground coriander and half a teaspoon salt. Now we mix, and next goes in the chicken, which has been sitting in the fridge for an hour since I was out of the house. Right, let's get this right. Now the chicken should take a total of 45-50 minutes to cook. What I am going to do is I'm not going to cook it for that long in the first turn. So a good mix, and now I'm going to let this cook for half an hour. I'll timer it for half an hour and then I'm going to come back to this. Don't be tempted to add water because the chicken will release its moisture as well. So, and there is plenty of sauce in here. Right, see you in 30 minutes. So I've given the leaves a quick wash, and I have used 2 bunches, but you can use fewer bunches. If you want, you can just use 1 bunch, but they are like spinach. They wilt down so much that though it looks like a big bowl of methi, it's just gonna wilt down to, very little. And if you don't have methi, don't add spinach, because that'll make it a spinach chicken, not a methi chicken. Obviously, it's not the same without fresh methi leaves, but if you really want to try it, then just add maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons of dried fenugreek leaves. It'll just be different, but at least it will taste like methi chicken and not spinach chicken if you don't have fresh. You can add spinach. I'm not saying that you can't, but just be prepared. It will taste like spinach chicken, which is also delicious. So the choice is yours. Now it's been 30 minutes. The chicken's been cooking. I'm going to add this and then cook it for another 15 minutes. First, I'm going to add this and then let it cook for like 5 minutes just so the methi wilts down, and then I'm going to stir it in. See, it's wilted down. Now I can mix it in. Right guys, this has been cooking for a total of 50 minutes. It's given me enough time to do all the wash up and cleaning up, making the most of the time. Anyways, this smells really good. Let's check it out. Wow. Someone's at the door. Another doorbell. Right, gonna finish this with a little dash of double cream, not much. And if you were in a restaurant, they would like put some butter on it, lots more cream, and obviously that will make it even more delicious. But this looks and smells delicious enough. I don't want any more oil, cream, butter on it. And the best way to serve this would be with some chapati, naan, paratha, or on top of some just plain rice would be amazing as well. Right, I'm gonna plate this up and have a little taste. Right, it's such a busy house today. The kids have all just arrived. All the doorbells were children coming back in, and you could see them playing in the garden earlier in the earlier shot. Anyways, the chicken is literally falling apart. It smells insanely good. That's all I can say. That is so good. Melt in your mouth, so much flavor. It could do with a little bit more chili, so I would add some more green chili next time. But that is delicious.